Coming up on this episode of This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada, we say bonjour to Quebec and the inaugural Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval in Montreal, where great things are happening inside and outside the ropes.
Et de deux.
We see the life-changing impact of community support at Chute Saint-Justine.
For me, being here is life. It's just life.
It's important for a foundation like the Fondation Sainte-Justine to have new partners because the needs are big.
And then get a taste of old Montreal.
From the old school red light days, it's actually been around since 1912. This was called the pool room. Go in and get wild.
Before competition gets underway for the 6th title of the 2017 season. All that and more next. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. For the first time since coming under the PGA Tour umbrella in 2013, the Mackenzie Tour tees it up in Quebec at the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval in Montreal. And this will be the first time players get a look at one of the region's premier courses, Les Quatre Domaines Golf Club. The par 70 number 2 course stretches out just over 7,000 yards, but it's a challenging Graham Cook design. Now at the halfway point in the season, there's more than just order of merit position on the line. The top 3 players on the order of merit following the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval will earn exemptions into the PGA Tour's RBC Canadian Open at Glen Abbey Golf Club. And currently, every player inside the top 11 has a mathematical chance to get into the top 3 when the week is over. It's day 1 of the inaugural Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval, and players come out firing at Les Quatre Domaines Golf Club. Matt Picanzo jumps on the board with a 5 under 65 on day 1. The former baseball player swings big with 8 birdies and 3 bogeys on his card. He finishes 1 stroke behind Oregon's Damian Tellis. The 27-year-old, playing in just his 5th career start of the Mackenzie Tour, cards a bogey-free 6 under 64 to take the early clubhouse lead before play is suspended due to inclement weather. And when play resumes on Friday morning, Florida's Hank Lebioda joins him atop the leaderboard with a 1-stroke lead over the field.
I hit 17 greens, 11 fairways, hit the ball great, put myself in position to make a lot of birdies, and didn't take advantage of all of them, but I still did a good job out there.
After the break, Vita Guillaume and Zach Edmondson bring some much-needed fun to the children at Saint-Justine Hospital.
We leave our footprint everywhere we go, and thanks to the Mackenzie Tour, we're trying to make communities a little bit better.
And then it's the 2nd round of the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval. When we return, This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. In the heart of Montreal sits the CHU Saint-Justine, a hospital dedicated to providing world-class care for children and mothers-to-be in Quebec. With state-of-the-art facilities, CHU Saint-Justine is able to use its extensive expertise to deliver high-quality specialized care, conduct world-class research, and provide high-level education. And that pursuit of medical excellence has positioned CHU Saint-Justine as one of the top mother-child hospital centers in the world. The hospital is also the newest beneficiary of the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval.
It's important for a foundation like the Fondation Sainte-Justine to have new partners because the needs are big, and it's great to have new partner like Mackenzie Tour to help the team here in Sainte-Justine to do their best with the best equipment, the best facilities. Philanthropy is a big part of the Sainte-Justine history, and that's why we became what we are today, one of the best pediatric mother-child facility in the world.
Before the start of competition, Vida Guillaume and Zach Edmondson stopped by the Saint-Justine Children's Hospital to see excellence in action.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Simon.
Simon, nice to meet
Hi,
you, Joanna.
Zach.
Hi.
Simon. We're taking care of the high-risk pregnancy, actually, high prematurity, people that have a condition like preeclampsia and stuff like that.
Bonjour, Madame Chevrette. Comment on va? Oui, français. Ça va très bien? Bonjour, Zach.
Actually, for me, it means life. My first baby was delivered in another hospital, and because she didn't have all the people going around her, she died. So the second one, when I have it here, he grew up very well. So for me, being here is life. It's just life.
Thank you so much
For sharing your story. Thank you. It's nice to go and see people, little kids especially, being treated. And for a second, you completely forget about golf and making bogeys. So yeah, it's nice to make their day, to see smiles on their face. It just takes you out of your routine. It shows you different sides of life that we're completely unaware of on a golf course.
After touring the Neonatal Care Center and handing out a few golf tips and goodies, Zach and Vida headed out to bring some cheer to children going through high-quality specialized care.
We're here to have some fun. All right?
Are you ready? You want to try it?
Et cette partie-là, là?
It's a cool experience to just see the kids' faces light up and just to see just the ins and outs of this kind of place.
It's pretty great to have some pros visit the children here and the mother-to-be because you see what it's done in their day. There was enlightened, there was happy, there was cheerful.
Yes!
Sometimes it's pretty boring for them because they spend long hours and stuff like that. So it's kind of a change of a routine for them and have some special stuff to say and talk about, and it's changed a bit from all the disease stuff. So we love when people takes time to visit the children and the mothers.
Et de deux. Want to go back? Yes! Okay. We leave our footprint everywhere we go, and thanks to the Mackenzie Tour, we're trying to make communities a little bit better, even though there's a lot more that could be done.
The second round of the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval is interrupted by Mother Nature yet again, forcing a 3-hour rain delay early in the round. But once the course is prepped and competition resumes, it's British Columbia's Ryan Williams and California's Kevin Lucas who find themselves atop the leaderboard before play is suspended due to darkness. Williams, making his 99th career start on the Mackenzie Tour, closes out his front 9 with 3 birdies in his last 4 holes and finishes his day at 7 under par through 9 holes. Meanwhile, Kevin Lucas, making just his 6th career start, reaches 7 under through 7 holes. But on Saturday, the lead changes hands as most of the field sets out to complete their second rounds. Hank Lebioda makes a charge after recovering from an early bogey, posting 7 birdies down the stretch to finish at 12 under par and in solo first.
I took care of business, handled each shot as best as I could, and it's never simple. Just some days it's easier than others. Everyone says you got to focus on the task at hand, but the easiest way I found is just to enjoy it, to soak it up, and to do your best to, see all the positives in it.
The 23-year-old shoots his 2nd straight 6 under 64 and sits 4 clear of a trio of chasers: Robbie Greenwell, Daniel Kim, and Matt Picanzo. While Ryan Williams finishes up in a tie for 5th, and Kevin Lucas falls back into a tie for 18th by day's end. Coming up next on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada, we explore Old Montreal with Scott Vincent and Trevor Cohn.
From here, you've got a pretty good view of the river. That's the St. Lawrence. You go out about 1,600 kilometers out that way to get to Quebec City.
And then, the 3rd round of the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval continues after the break. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. The dual French-English city of Montreal entices visitors from all over the world. Architecturally intricate buildings line the streets of the city, bringing a little piece of Europe to North America. And players Scott Vincent and Trevor Cohn wanted to experience Old Montreal's beauty for themselves.
Hey there, I'm Danny.
How's it going? Trevor.
Trevor, nice to meet you.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott, nice to meet you. So I'm going to be taking you out on a little guided tour today of Montreal, showing you some of the old town. We're going to be going inside the Basilica today as well, and we're going to go grab some poutine, which is like a local delicacy.
Please.
Check out some street art and get up to the top of the mountain.
Awesome.
If you guys follow me, we're good to go.
Cool.
Perfect.
One of Montreal's oldest established churches is Notre-Dame Basilica. Trevor and Scott toured the main sanctuary, which was finished in 1830.
Wow. Holy cow.
Is this still a church?
It is, yeah. Heading down towards the water, basically, there's like a meter difference between the back and the front, so no matter where you sit, you get a good view. Because you actually had to pay like season's tickets type thing to rent out your spot in the church. So even the people who built it, who were paid like really low wages, they had to pay to come able to sit here.
You can never judge a book by its cover. The second stop of the day is Royal Bank turned trendy eatery, Crew Cafe.
The outside does it no justice, right? The inside's where it's at.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like the idea is that this was created to give it like a look of like a Roman basilica.
Yeah.
So this was from Halifax, which is where the Royal Bank is from, and moved into Montreal in the 20s. You can actually come in and cash your check here up until, I think it was 2010, and now it's actually a co-working space called Crew and Open Cafe, which was actually named most beautiful cafe in the world by Forbes magazine.
But what's a proper tour of Montreal without a little poutine?
From the old school red light days, it's actually been around since 1912. It's called the pool room. There's no pool tables anymore, but they still do what they've done since the beginning, which is hot dogs and comfort food. So go in and get wild.
Sweet.
And to walk off their midday snack, the guys head toward the true gem of the city, Mount Royal and its amazing views.
You'll notice that our skyscrapers don't really scrape too much, and that's because we're not allowed to build taller than this mountain. All right, so
Really?
there's a city bylaw to protect the views of the mountain and from the mountain. So our tallest ones are around 50 stories tall, essentially. From here, you've got a pretty good view of the river. So that's the St. Lawrence. You go out about 1,600 kilometers out that way to get to Quebec City and then the Atlantic. All right, guys, so yeah, that sort of concludes our little tour about Montreal today.
Yeah.
Danny, thanks so much. Very welcome.
Thanks, Danny.
Happy to meet you both.
Yeah,
Happy
much.
to take you out. Enjoy the rest of
Pretty
your
cool
stay.
city you got here, so.
Thank you.
When the third round of the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval finally gets underway on Saturday afternoon, there's a Quebecer on the leaderboard. Vincent Blanchette is making his first start on the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada, and he's making it count. The 24-year-old from Boucherville climbs into contention with 2 birdies on his front 9 to get to 9 under par. Making his 30th start on the tour, 31-year-old Robbie Greenwell also keeps pace, with 2 birdies of his own before play is called. But they're both chasing 36-hole leader Hank Lebioda. Lebioda extends his lead with a birdie in his first 5 holes before darkness falls. And Lebioda adds to that lead when play resumes Sunday morning, posting a bogey-free 4 under 66.
Hit the fairways, hit the greens, give yourself opportunities, and you give yourself opportunities the way I've been putting, and something's bound to happen.
He finishes 5 strokes ahead of Johnny Ruiz, who cards 8 birdies to just 2 bogeys on the way to a 6 under 64 on day 3. Ruiz knows a thing or two about coming from behind to win, after his victory at the Stahl Foundation Open presented by T-Baytel. But catching Lebioda will be a tough task for those who will be playing close to 36 holes on the final day.
We play 36-hole days in college very often. We'd play qualifiers, so we had multiple rounds a day. Prepared us very well for kind of different situations that we wouldn't normally expect. It's the reason why we play this game. It's ever-changing. Each day is a new opportunity. Each shot is a new opportunity. So if you approach it like that, it's hard to get too far ahead of yourself.
Up next,
I have a homemade invention. So we have a tennis ball, a washer, and a stopper.
Adam Webb pulls some unique items out of his bag. And then we say au revoir to Montreal as the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval comes to a close. All that and more when this is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada returns. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.
Hey, I'm Adam Webb, and this is what's in my bag. Play Titleist. This is the Titleist 917 D3, the best driver they've made. Go to the putter. Got a Scotty Cameron here, just a standard, but it is a bit shorter. It's 32.5 inches. You know, that length allows me to extend my arms down a little more. Head covers are kind of unique. They are Stitch Golf, based out of North Carolina. And they help me, you know, represent the United States as I'm traveling across Canada. For training, we have Super Speed Golf swing sticks, which they help you increase your swing speed while you're practicing. I have a homemade invention. So we have a tennis ball, a washer, and a stopper. And what it does, when you go to the top, the ball drops, and it allows you to hear that sound at the bottom and make sure your tempo is correct. The way I mark my ball, I mark it with a green circle, and that's to represent birdies, and the dot is to be unique, because I started seeing a lot of guys putting a circle on there. My ball marker, a buddy of mine sent me this from Army Navy Country Club, and he sends me one anytime he plays a golf course that's, you know, it stands out, really good golf course. So that's it, that's what's in my bag.
As round 4 kicks off at the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval, the race for the title gets underway.
C'est le départ de 11h50. This is the 11:50 starting time. The Orlando en Floride, Hank Lebioda.
Confident, Hank Lebioda begins his championship run focused and collected. And a lone birdie on the front side gives him a 6-shot cushion at the turn.
Accepting that even though if I did have a bad shot, what really is the worst that's going to happen? Am I going to lose a leg? Am I going to die? No. I mean, if I hit a bad shot, it just gives me another opportunity to go prove how good I am hitting the next shot.
So with the top spot nearly wrapped up, the rest of the field is battling it out for second. Calgary native Jared Dutoit starts off with a solid front nine, but 2 bogeys on the backside drop him out of the top 5, and he finishes tied for 7th. Meanwhile, Toronto's Daniel Kim punctuates a strong final round with back-to-back birdies down the stretch and finishes with a 2-under-68, vaulting up the leaderboard and into a tie for second at 12 under alongside Americans Rico Hui and Jonathan Garrick. But Lebioda closes out the back 9 in style, carding 3 birdies and an eagle on the march to an 8-stroke victory.
Felt pretty good. I've been putting in a whole lot of work in this offseason, and really proud to see the results show.
Lebioda has already had success this season on PGA Tour Latino America with 2 runner-up finishes. He currently ranks 6th on the Order of Merit. And with his victory in Montreal, he matches that ranking and now occupies the 6th spot on the Mackenzie Tour's Order of Merit.
This is just reaffirming that the work I put in is good work, and it's not, not necessarily longer hours or, out there when it's 200 degrees in Florida or it's raining and lightning out. It means putting in smarter work, better work, more efficient work, and that's what I'm really proud of.
Lebioda vaults up the Order of Merit with his first ever victory, but the top 5 remains unchanged. Max Rotliff hangs on to the 5th spot after his win earlier in the year, while Lee McCoy stays in 4th. Despite missing the cut in Montreal, Kramer Hickok holds steady in the 3rd spot, while Johnny Ruiz stands firm at number 2. And the man still holding on to the number 1 spot, 21-year-old Robbie Shelton. With the inaugural Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval in the books, our attention turns to the RBC Canadian Open at Glen Abbey. 5 players from the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada earned exemptions. The top 3 on the Order of Merit played their way in. Robbie Shelton, Johnny Ruiz, and Kramer Hickok will live their PGA Tour dreams this week, alongside Jared Dutoit and Ryan Williams, who both earned sponsor exemptions. But they're not the only ones teeing it up in Oakville. Lee McCoy, Riley Wheeldon, and Jared Hack all made it through Open qualifying, bringing the Mackenzie Tour contingent up to 8. And Lee McCoy is showing off his skills. The 23-year-old University of Georgia grad already has a victory in 2017 at the Freedom 55 Financial Open and sits 4th in the Order of Merit. When this is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada returns after the RBC Canadian Open, we'll be in Edmonton, Alberta for the Syncrude Oil Country Championship presented by Acon, where in 2016, Aaron Wise captured his first professional title on the way to earning his Web.com tour card. And this year, he's already making his mark at the next level. In just his 8th career start on the Web.com tour, the 21-year-old has posted 2 top 5s, including a victory at the Air Capital Classic supporting Wichita's youth.
The goal is to get your PGA Tour card at the end of the year, and obviously maybe I don't have to wait the rest of the year if I can win 2 more times. In Canada, when I played up there, I learned a lot about everything that goes with being a professional golfer. It's just being comfortable and trusting yourself and realizing, you can compete out here.
We'll see you next time